Hello, Taurus. Welcome into your reading. So glad to have you here. We're trying to figure out your December predictions for the month. And we are starting out with the energies that you're going to be going into the month, and then also the energies that you're going to be leaving the month with, and everything else in between. So let's go ahead and figure out what the energy is going to be like at the beginning. And it says, honor your inner knowing, medicine mother. Very interesting card. Okay. So it seems like the energy that you're going to be starting the month of December with is kind of relying on your inner self. And I feel like this energy is kind of like being more reflective about who you are, what you are, and the potential that you have, and everything that you have as a resource within inside yourself, and not really looking too far out, not really looking in like need to have other people assist you and things like that. And this could also be kind of rehabilitating that energy as well. Like if you feel like you're off balance, or you feel like maybe your chakras are out of alignment, this could be talking about receiving Reiki, things like that. You know, this could be just you trying to work your inner being, maybe even meditation, things like that, trying to get back into alignment with your inner knowing, and, you know, kind of honoring like honoring the importance of what yourself has to say, right? And even if it's bad or ugly, maybe these things are speaking to you for a reason. So allow that to come out, allow that to play out. And that's kind of the energy that you're going to be feeding into at the beginning of the month of December, is letting all these things kind of play out for you and seeing where everything really falls into place for you. So let's see what the major timeline is going to be like for the month of December for you. We have the Seven of Cups. We have the Moon. We also have the Ten of Swords, Chariot, and the Six of Pentacles. So there's definitely a lot of release happening here in the month of December. Maybe you're letting go of past struggles. Maybe you're letting go of certain energies in your life that hasn't served you. Or maybe you're letting go of past ideas that are no longer able to play out, things like that. Because it almost seems like you're very tempted at discovering new things, figuring out what's best for you, things like that. But it almost seems like to me that a lot of information from Spirit is coming forward about like not allowing yourself to look too high or too far in advance. It almost seems like that might be like what causes a lot of problems within your mind, your heart space, things like that. And it could be the reason why you might be out of alignment and getting back into realignment. And I think what this is kind of talking about to me, and it's kind of funny that there are ladders on top of these bowls, or at least they look like ladders to me. But there's some ladders on top of this bowl because the message that I got from Spirit during the meditation before your reading was that you might be potentially looking too high whenever you are like aiming out or looking at the forecast or looking at the bigger picture. You might be aiming too high, of like getting from ground level to the top floor and trying to discover what's there at the top floor and seeing if that's going to work for you. Or you might be thinking too far outside the box whenever things that are being presented in front of you are the things that needs the most cater, the most nurture, things like that. You can't shoot too far in advance without working on building blocks that are in front of you for you to be able to work your way up to that top floor or to outside of that box. And I think right now there's a lot of things that might be needing to come alive with inside yourself and your subconscious and your shadow that might be playing out here in December, that you might be releasing or letting go of, or taking away any of that control that it might have on you, and allowing these life experiences to kind of play out more for yourself, maybe experiencing life a little bit more and not really limiting you to what you have to look forward to or what the future goal has to be or whatever the idea is that's going to fix everything, right? Because it's almost like a day-to-day operation versus allowing it to be more of like, okay, how can we bring the future into the right now when that's not the case? That's the reason why it's the future. That's the reason why it has to be at that certain time for you, is for you to kind of work on the things that needs to be worked on in the current moment. Catering and nurturing to that, giving it the right energy, giving it the right care, allowing it to like reciprocate those energies and give you the correct information, give you the correct knowledge, things like that are going to help you further advance yourself. That way you're not stuck or stagnant or feeling like you're drowning into these energies of like, oh man, things are not working. And it's all because the things that you're trying to get to is shooting too far out in advance. And maybe some of the answers that you are looking for is more right in front of you than you actually realize, because your sight is set on too far out or too high up. You need to work on the building blocks that are in front of you and continue to build up to that point. So that seems to be the major timeline, is kind of working with those building blocks a little bit more, catering to those energies, being more present, working on the things that are being presented to you that you need to work on, and not really trying to just get there fast or get there too quick, or thinking that there's just going to be that one solution that solves everything, when it's more so that you have a lot of things that can solve a lot of things, that can get things out of your way or bring things in to help you, or whatever the case scenario might be. There's a lot of information within inside of yourself, but you've got to unlock it. It's not outside, it's inside. You've got to unlock the answers from inside yourself. That way you can navigate and move forward on your correct path. So what's the energies going to be like for the emotional and the physical? For the emotional, we got the Lovers. And for the physical, we have the King of Wands. Yeah, so I mean, that's exactly kind of like what I was preaching about a little bit here, is that you're going to find a deeper connection with inside yourself. There's a lot of things that maybe you've neglected inside yourself that you're not letting have a voice, or maybe you're not allowing yourself to present it in the right way, and that you are navigating through all that, and you're giving back a lot of good emotion and a lot of good love to these things during this month of December. And with that passion and with that inspiration, it leads into you navigating through life a bit easier in the month of December, and probably into the new year, where you are following your own torch, you're following your own path, you're allowing yourself to be the director, you're allowing yourself to have control, and not have anything else around you to have this control over you, right? It almost feels like there's a lot of strength, there's a lot of boundaries here that are in place for you in the physical nature, where you are kind of closing things off so that way you can focus within and focus on what's in front of you, and really learning and understanding your path by taking action, and not necessarily by what you think other people are going to say, or maybe listening to other people or other tarot readings or whatever the case scenario may be for you, but really focusing on what that inner wisdom is inside you and allowing that to be your path moving forward. You're discovering things and allowing your footsteps to allow you to discover the next thing and the next thing and the next thing that's most important in that step-to-step process for you. So who or what is coming into the life of course, Five of Cups. So there's this repeating pattern that keeps suckering you in, and it might be something that is needing to be fixated on. It might be something that's needed for you to work on, and it's nothing that I think is like vicious. It's just a kind of like a mindset, I would say. That's what the energy feels like to me. It's more so like a mindset that is entering your life over and over and over again. Once you feel like you've gotten past it, it comes back up, because I don't think you're actually like realizing the point of it. And it's going to get to a point where you're finally focusing in and taking care of those energies and really asking it like, why is it here? What's it supposed to say to you? And that you're going to move forward with more of an effort to help cure that or to help prevent it, or, just understand it so that way you can move forward in a better way. And I feel like it's a teaching moment for you. Like the Chariot here is a life lesson that I feel like you're going to be able to overcome at some point during this month. And for the who or what is leaving your life, we have the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups, I feel like, is someone that is catering to the emotions, wanting to listen, wanting to, make an effort to add comfort and add peace and things like that. And I feel like you're going to be doing a lot of it like that this month, but it's not really like, maybe it's more so like, I don't know. If I'm the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm like thinking that this could be multiple things. So the first thing I'm going to say is this could be an energy that is giving you like sweet talk, right? Like, oh, it's not your fault, or oh, you don't need to do that, or whatever the case scenario might be for you, of someone who is on your side, but is legitimately handicapping you to the idea of what you already are facing. And they're not really helping you move forward or focusing on things. They're more so kind of protecting you. So that might be an energy that is leaving your life where they're not going to stand in your way for that. I don't think it's necessarily that that person in specific is leaving your life. Could be, but I don't think it is. I think it's just that you're going to eliminate that energy access. You're not going to allow that to interfere with you. And then also with the Queen of Cups, it could be that you're not like looking outwards and trying to help people instead of yourself. You're not like distracted. You're eliminating distractions, things like that. Or it could be that you are eliminating emotional fulfillment distractions. So like if you are not as happy with the things that are going on and you are seeking emotional fulfillment elsewhere that is not in a good light, those distractions might be eliminated, and that way you can focus in more inwards. And then another energy that I'm picking up on might be that you are not allowing yourself to kind of sink in too deep and allowing things to come in from the outside. Like I was saying, it's more so that inner wisdom. So maybe you're not tapping into the need to find out energy outside. You're more so looking within. So what is the biggest change going to be like for Taurus in the month of December? Find that. Queen of Wands and the Eight of Cups. So the Queen of Wands is that creative fire energy. They are very powerful. They are very in the know and have the knowledge and have the abilities to do certain things. And it seems like the Queen of Wands is on top of the King of Wands, looking down in a little way for them. So maybe the Queen of Wands is somebody that is going to be behind the King of Wands, supporting and giving a lot of fuel and fire to that resource. Maybe it's someone that you meet, or maybe it's someone that you already have in your life. But it also encourages you to walk away from past problems, right? I feel like whatever this Queen of Wands is, whether it's you or somebody else, I feel like they are encouraging you and uplifting you, giving you motivation, maybe giving you some pep talks, re-encouraging that self-belief that you have the power within inside of yourself to walk away from past problems or past issues, or maybe walking away from issues that might not be resolved within inside yourself. Maybe you're walking away from with a resolved mindset, and that you're able to leave that behind you and focus on what you need to focus on moving forward. So what does Taurus need to be made aware of in the month of December? We have Nine of Swords, and we have the Six of Swords. So it's not going to be easy. And realistically, I feel like what you need to be made aware of is that it's not going to be clear cut for you. It's honestly going to be a lot of headache, anguish, dealing with personal feelings, dealing with personal fears, things like that, that you're not going to really understand, especially the more that you look like out in advance. You need to continue to look within inside yourself. But as long as you're willing to feel the push, feel the guidance to look at certain things, like, for example, if you wake up feeling sad, maybe looking into why you were feeling sad that day and kind of tap into like, oh, well, maybe the reason why I'm feeling sad is because yesterday someone said something and I'm only reacting to it now, but now it, got to me and it's affecting my emotions, it's affecting my mentality. And then you can really say, well, maybe I don't have like my guard up, and that might be something that you need to work on, is having your guard up so that way those people don't really affect you and your emotions and your mentality, things like that. But you wouldn't have really realized that if you were looking too far out of like, oh, what's the next thing coming for me? Or what's the next thing that I should be doing, or whatever the case may be. The next thing that you should be doing is like right in front of you. And whatever that is in the present moment, you will know. It might be a headache to figure that out, but you being able to process that, you being able to go through that and understand it will guide you into the direction that you need to be going ultimately. So don't feel like you have to figure everything out before you get there. Figure it out along the way, and it'll become easier. It'll become more emotionally balanced, and everything will work itself out before you get there that needs to be worked out. So that way you have an internal balance, and that way you are ready for that energy coming for you in the future. So, yeah, the energy that is going to be you at the end of the month is this Fire Guardian, Ignite Your Passions. So, being able to resolve anything within inside yourself, being able to disconnect from anything that is painful or harmful or whatever, and also, deleting that vision of always needing to know what's in front of you way out in advance, as if like you were driving a ship or something like that. You need to like pull out a telescope and be like, hey, what's out there? What's in the way? Like you don't need to. And with you being able to be more present, with you being able to connect with more authentic feelings and, realigning yourself with more of your truest self and your truest fire, you're going to be able to ignite those passions that are the most desirable thing to have alongside you. So that way you can be giving yourself more authentic experiences and taking care of the things that matter the most for you. And also being real with yourself and doing things in a real likeness. So that way you can be more satisfied. So that way you can be more involved and giving more of your energy to it. So the more energy that you give to it in a great way, in a more passionate way, the more things are going to work out for you. So hopefully that makes sense, but that's a really good energy to be having, is that maybe by the end of December, working all these kinks out and everything like that, that you might be igniting these passions back up again in your system, so that way you can take on the next thing. So with that being said, I hope all this makes sense. Hopefully it resonates with you. And if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to drop them down below in the comments. And if you have any questions stemming off of this reading of anything that I've said, feel free to book a reading with me. The link is down below in the description. And I'll catch you guys on the next reading. Take care.